Yeah. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Walk on advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the deck, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recon. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gonna end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain revolution. OnChain. OnChain revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, chin. Yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the spec. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire crypto ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for the OnChain Hour, and this one is going to be awesome, guys, because we do know we are about 72 hours away from Jerome Powell cutting rates for the first time in over a year. We do know that he is potentially going to talk about quantitative easing, or at least fully, basically say that we're not going to be buying it up any more bonds, which is stopping the tightening that's been happening since 2022. So it's one of those things right now that we have to be patient because everything is going to be crazy, absolutely amazing for us in crypto, but it's not going to happen until we get the rate cut. He says quantitative easing, so we might have to wait till Wednesday afternoon to get that stuff. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over the craziness that's been happening in Pumpdotfun and whether or not it is actually sustainable. We're going to get that because I honestly don't think it's sustainable. I think it's awesome. I think it's great for the space. I feel like the space is healing. The trenches were the places that got the most damaged because it is the most degen. So it is nice for those guys to kind of be making money again and kind of getting back that the hope that I think a lot of people in the trenches lost. So that's really cool. You are seeing a lot of people coming back. You got Frank D. Gods actually tweeting it again. People were saying that he was locked in a dungeon and he just got out. I don't know. But it is nice when you see a lot of these older, crypto guys coming back now, because that is a sense of, that they believe we're about to head into a bull run and they don't want to miss it. And you're actually seeing that a lot from a lot of people who did leave over the last couple of months, over the summer anyway, are coming back right now, tweeting for the first time in a while. That's really good for crypto Twitter, because crypto Twitter has been absolutely terrible. There's nothing there. There's nothing. There's no alpha. There's no people excited. It's a very sad place right now. So you are seeing it kind of heal a little bit, right? And this Pumpfun stuff is helping with that as well. So we're kind of looking into that. We're looking into a whole bunch of other things as well. So without further ado, let's bring my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? How's your weekend? How you feeling today? How's everything going?
Weekend was good. The Cowboys won barely, edged it out with a field goal in overtime against the Giants. But yeah, it was good weekend. Played some golf on Saturday morning. Took care of some things I needed to take care of, and ready for this week. And I feel like this morning was a bit of a rough start to the week. Yesterday didn't end the way that I thought it would for the week last week, but we do have a big day on Wednesday, and I think that's gonna really start to kick things off, and we'll see a chain reaction. So Polymarket has a over 50% chance that Bitcoin does see at least 120,000 this month again, and if it gets there, why not push for a new all-time high? We'll see.
Yeah, but that's 50-50, right? I mean, 56. I mean, that's kind of
better than 20%.
Yeah, I agree, but still, it's like flip a coin. Does it hit 120? Flip a coin. Like that's what I saw. It, I was kind of like,
I'll take those chances.
One or two. I want to be bullish, bro. I don't want to flip no coin to see 120. I want to see 120 guaranteed. That's 100%. But let's kind of get into TK. TK is the official mascot of OnChain Revolution. Let's kind of check on how he is doing today. Kind of our creator coin in a way. But it's kind of sitting at around 48K. Very nice. I mean, looking at the Pumpfun stuff, and we're getting that heavy later, 48K is pretty damn good. I mean, to the comparison of some of those coins over there. So I'm very happy TK kind of hanging in there. And then we'll jump over to on Bitcoin, see on 73K. So there is still doing well. Not much buying, though. Not much buying at all right now on anything. Runes are really getting destroyed if you go over to trade and then runes. It's bad, guys. Runes are not looking good. Pups, $13 million pups. Magic Internet Money, 34 million. Dogs, 230. Already, I think, has officially passed dog, which is kind of scary. Gizmo up 3 million. Globo falling back under 7. Tarded Rat, which is like almost like 9 million, is now 1. It's not looking great for the runes, and that's kind of why TK isn't performing either. But if you are an OnChain Revolution pass holder or an Ordinal Revolution pass holder, you now have 10 days to stake your pass. It'll be a 6-month lock, and you will earn 35 million TK, which is valued around $4,000 right now. So you definitely want a piece of that. And if you are the only one who stakes there, he'll get the whole thing. So the more less you get, you will split that between all the stakers. Highly recommend coming in here if you have an OnChain Revolution pass and staking your pass, because in 6 months from now, let's just say, I want to say in March 19th, you're going to wake up to some free TK and get your pass back. So,
yeah, absolutely. So, we started that pass way long ago, I think in early 2024. January 2024. And it was really a give back to all the supporters from our YouTube channel, because it was a free airdrop to all our subscribers. And that was such an awesome feeling to be able to give back. And then whatever happened on the secondary market, people bought it and all that stuff. We couldn't control that part. But we wanted you guys to let y'all know that we didn't forget about that, if you guys did continually hold it. So this is a give back. And that's what Trench Kitty really has been, every day, doing giveaways, and then giving back to pass holders and allowing people to hold it to stake. And so, I feel proud of what we've done with Trench Kitty in terms of a give back, because a lot of people, they extract only. And I would say, if anything, we took a pretty good hit on this, but it's okay, because it's worth it to invest in your community.
Was it though?
I mean, I do think it is, because it also shows that not every content creator or any people that talk about stuff is there to extract, right? So, we appreciate each and every one of you guys, and hopefully you guys saw it through this Trench Kitty launch, because that's really what it was about. It wasn't about making money for our end. I'll tell you that, because that did not happen. But what is happening is that you guys are, getting involved in the chat. You guys are learning how to stake on layer 1 Bitcoin through Fluid tokens, and it's about education and experiences. So we appreciate you guys, and we hope. We hope that you appreciate what we've done with Trench Kitty and the Ordinal Revolution Pass, which some of you guys, I'm sure, were like, oh, they're never going to talk about the pass again. No, you guys were wrong. But we appreciate you guys, and hopefully we can continually, do stuff for you guys from time to time. But you guys are awesome.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, if you do have an Ordinal Revolution Pass, get in here, stake it now. You'll have 10 days to stake it, so plenty of time there. And then you have until March 19th. It'll unlock. You'll get your TK, and we might even do another one at that time. We'll worry about that in March. But right now, you guys have an opportunity. And for the people with Trench Kitty, and you're like, damn, We're going to be opening up another vault potentially in 10 days. That'll be Trench Kitty for Trench Kitty. This exact same vault again. This will be level 2. That'll be a 100-day stake. This one was, I think, 90. So the next one will be a 100-day stake, or maybe a 120-day stake for that, just to kind of separate the openings of these 35 million. Don't want them all hitting the market at the same time. So this is kind of an opportunity for us to kind of space that out. So we'll do another one as well. But real quick though, love your comments on the runes. We might not hit on it later, but it's getting bad. It's getting really bad.
Yeah, I mean, Runes has gone through this before, so I can't even count how many times Billy has crossed back down below 10 million and back over 10 million. So this is not anything new. I expect them to cross back over and go back up again. This is a common theme. So I think until like everything is like super risk on, you probably should expect there to be this kind of volatility back and forth. But I personally expect Runes to have a thriving moment in Q4. I personally do. I know you don't necessarily maybe agree with that, but
like less and less every day. Yeah. I just, for me, I just feel like the Spark thing is a cloud above Bitcoin right now, with their the leading marketplace now going full. I mean, this used to say Runes, and now it says Bitcoin DeFi. Right.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things right now where if this cloud wasn't above Runes, I would think, and the biggest thing about Runes right now is like every time it pumps, it's a pump to get out. Like people are selling, like every time it pumps, you're seeing people get out of it. Right. So it's like every pump is a sell. No one gives it opportunity to run. And I don't know if that'll continue or it ramps up, but it's hard to be in Runes right now, I'll tell you that. And even ordinals too. I mean,
no, so I agree, but you have to look around the entire space. I mean, look at Fartcoin. It's at 81 cents, right? So Fartcoin is another thing that's like people, I'm sure, got in when it was at $1.10 a month ago. And now they're feeling like crap because it's at 81 cents. It's pulled back. So there's not money in risk on right now at all.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing, and I'm starting to realize this, if we look back the past 12 months with risk on, it was always only new things that really got money back, or got money. And then eventually, once the times would go bad, that new meta would die off. And then the next time a newer thing again, or whatever, or just like the re-energizers, even if it wasn't a completely new meta, it was new coins on Solana, right? Different kind of coins, not the old ones and stuff like that, right? So until we're in a full-on risk-on environment, we're not going to see Runes thrive. We're not going to see the fart coins really get going. We're not going to see those things happen until we're on a full-on risk-on. And what does that take? It takes rate cuts. It takes us getting into Q4 and people feeling like they want to make bets on stuff. And we're just not there. We're not there yet.
Yeah, 100%. But let's jump into the first topic of today, which is rate cut boom coming. Pumpfun streamer narrative heats up, and SEC softens crypto stance. So let's jump into the first part of that. Key updates for this week. Let's show the economic calendar real quick, because obviously today is Monday, September 15th. Tuesday, we do have some U.S. retail sales. Nothing much to worry about in there. And then Wednesday, we have the FOMC interest rate cut at 2 p.m. 2:30, we have the Fed chair press conference. This is kind of where we're hoping he says quantitative easing. And then Thursday, we have the initial jobs list claims. And then we have a lot of Fed speakings this week as well, and next week as well too. So that'll be pretty big on the after the cut, to kind of see where their mind's at for the next ones. But right now we're about 99% chance of a cut, 25% being 90%. So it is looking like a 25 cut. But then you take a look at October, we're seeing an almost 70% chance of a cut. So we are looking into 2 cuts now, back to back. So that is something to be excited about. 78% if you want to put these two together, though.
Yeah, 78%. And that's without any speculation or any headlines changing anything, of course. But there is this kind of running conversation that's being had that consecutive rate cuts is expected. I feel good being at a 78% chance for a rate cut, considering we're at a 90. We're going to have one for sure on the 17th. So that makes me feel good about October. And October too, does do people get bullish after this rate cut, expecting another one in October? We're gonna find out because you know, being pretty certain, well, 78%, you know, feeling good about a rate cut in October could really get people going. Also, the discussion of what, you know, he talks about after the rate cut is gonna be important, and he knows that too. I'm curious how that conversation is gonna go.
Yeah, 100%. I'm really hoping he says quantitative easing. I want them to start. I'm gonna say we're gonna slow the process into quantitative easing, right? Because right now they're still in quantitative tightening. I don't think people understand that. Like, they have been in quantitative tightening, which means the Fed's going into the market and selling bonds. Think about that. The Fed's selling bonds into the market still. It's just wild to think. Like, we're not in an area where we should be doing that at all. Again, too late. Powell is just too late with that. I mean, this should have been cut months ago. At least paused and maybe not easing yet. But I think we start quantitative easing going into this next couple months here. And I think that is the main topic, in my opinion, of Tuesday and Wednesday's meeting, because they do start talking Tuesday. But the ending result is Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, you know, that would be devastating if he didn't cut Wednesday, but we know that he's going to. I mean, it doesn't make sense for him not to at all. But yeah, the conversations and stuff. If anything comes out right now, headline wise from the Fed, I doubt anything will until Wednesday. You know, so even if they're meeting, they're probably going to keep that tight lip. Maybe someone that wants to get on Trump's good side will say something, but it's not going to be anything that, you know, is, in my opinion, of big significant substance to move the needle on anything. It's just going to be like, oh, you know, you know, we think we should cut like the next 3 meetings or whatever. But yeah, we're all ready, right? I mean, you look at CoinMarketCap and, you know, the alt season index is creeping up still. It's at 70 this morning, but it doesn't feel like that, right? It doesn't feel like that because Bitcoin and Ethereum are both kind of bleeding a little bit this morning, or a decent amount. And then crypto bubbles are red, like they're all red. So 70 score was higher than over the weekend when we did our members video. It was at like 60, it was at like 67 or 68. So like, where are they getting that 70 from? But it's a good thing because they're getting it from somewhere, and it means that we're inching closer and closer to being more risk on.
Yeah, 100%. And then Trump came out this morning and says he thinks the Federal Reserve will make a big cut this week. It's perfect timing. So Trump's coming out and saying, hey, you're all wrong. He's not doing it 25. He's doing it 50. I mean, he did it 12 months ago. So I don't know.
Yeah. I just take like at this point, I take Polymarket, you know, for like the truth. Honestly, it's
I feel the same way.
It's like how you feel about ChatGPT. You know, it's like, you know, ChatGPT's got so much information now that like you trust it a lot. And I feel like with Polymarket, I trust it a lot. You know, after the last election and stuff, I just feel like it's a pretty good rule, you know, resource to look at.
Yeah, I mean, I put my car in the shop and the guy's telling me transmission. I'm like, yo, dude, ChatGPT's telling me it's a Cadillac converter. He's like, oh yeah, well, we'll take a look at that. And it's like, I trust ChatGPT over any mechanic any day, and maybe even over any doctor as well. But that's another conversation for another day. Let's get into the third part of our main title here, which is Pumpfun co-founder Elon posted that the platform's average current live streams have now surpassed Rumble. And it's all because of these 2 19-year-olds. So I'm going to get into this a little bit and, you know, save the questions for the end because we can kind of go back and think. But this is a story that is pretty awesome. Not going to lie. All right, so here it is. The story of how 2 teenage kids surged into live streaming world. Nothing about this was planned, and in just 72 hours, watched all their wildest dreams come true. 160,000 earned, private jets, ringside seats, and Drake's attention. Here's the viral story. Okay, so the stream kicked off with them streaking at a Dodgers game. So the kid jumps over, he runs on the field, and they're screaming, pump it, and he gets, you know, taken out, and then he gets arrested, right? So they use the creator fees to bail him out, and this is him kind of coming off, right? And then the moment seen around the world was they walk into Bradley Martin's gym and take his hat, so Bradley slaps the shit out of him. Let me actually show that.
Yeah.
Hold on, it's probably
this is the second time Bradley smacked somebody for taking his hat. By the way,
do not take Bradley Martin's hat.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, where's the slap? There it is. There it is.
Look at him holding his hand, man. He's like breaking his fingers at the same time. I can't stand Bradley Martin, man.
I can't either.
He's like asking MMA fighters and stuff like, just if a small MMA fighter could beat him up or not. And yes, he's a UFC fighter. But anyways, go on.
Yeah, man. So popular creator Soul Jakey and his crew invited Bagwork Boys to Superbase house to give them advice and a buzz cut. So they shaved the one guy's head live stream because the coin was dropping. Anytime the coin's dropping, they're like, yo, let's do something crazy. Right. So, and after leaving, they bumped into its Mango Girl and she slapped one of them. So they asked her to slap him. He gets slapped by Mango Girl, another popular streamer on Solana. The chaos didn't stop there. Then they decided to jump off a pier. But just as they were about to leap, the police showed up to stop them. So they weren't able to jump off this pier here. And after all the attention, they plotted their next move. They decided to use their money from the stream to book a private jet to Las Vegas. And it even gets crazier. They bought ringside tickets for Canelo and Crawford fight with the money they made from streaming. And Bagwork becomes a movement. Students and creators around the world started having watch parties to see the boys' next move. Living up their word, the boys promised their chat they'd get tattoos for surpassing stream milestones. Bagwork boys don't just talk; they follow through. So then, what's the name? Ansem finally got in. He ended up getting in like 7 million through support their way. Ansem got in. The tattoos, the logo, and pump, the ticker. So they got all these tattoos. Pumpfun, Bagwork. The madness escalated in the car. One of the viewers had sent them an unreleased tracks from Drake's Iceman album, and they played them live. Drake saw it. Got his reaction, not a good one. Drake calls Aiden Ross heated after a streamer on Pumpfun leaked one of his new songs called Iceman. The accidental leak has been posted all over the internet, getting captured by some of the biggest media outlets. Next stop, the fight. Everyone thought security would stop them at the entrance, but everyone's surprised, Bagwork Boys made it inside. Even getting recognized by some of the attendees. So some of the people in the audience knew who they were, which is pretty wild. At the fight, they showed the movement to A-list celebrities and iconic sports figures, Darius Garland, Stephen A. Smith, and then Mike from the Logan Paul show. In 72 hours, they crossed 160,000. So rumor has it that they didn't use the fees, though, to pay for the jet and tickets. They actually was a gift from Elon. But that is just a rumor right now. I can't find any truth to that, but that's kind of what everyone was saying. I think they were talking about that on the stream itself. But what do you think, dude? The Bagwork Boys in the last 72 hours, pretty nuts.
I think maybe it started as organic, but I think there definitely was some Geppettos behind the scene. I do think that Elon and sent that money for the jet and all that stuff. But I mean, it worked out, right? It worked out for them, and I think some of the ideas were from regular streamer playbooks, like taking Bradley's hat or whatever his last name is, I forgot. Bradley Martin's hat, and then also what was another thing that they did that was kind of typical? Oh, running onto the Dodgers field. That was smart. If that was the start, and if that was actually the start, and they didn't get any help or anything like that, that was really smart. If they had enough money to bail them out, But yeah, so those are kind of regular everyday streamer activities, right? And that's what catches people's attention. And so I think before we weren't seeing a ton of that. You saw just kind of like these really low effort people that might have some followings on TikTok try to do something. I know there was like a taxi driver that does this like virtual taxi thing, but it wasn't genuine. It didn't seem genuine. It didn't seem like it was, there to actually build an audience. And that's where you and I got into this pretty, it got to a point where it was like a philosophical conversation of streaming and the future of streaming. And you got to remember, like, these people that have huge audiences on TikTok, there's a reason why they have big audiences. There's a reason why people give them, 50 galaxies in one live session and all these things, is because they either have a talent or they have content that they're creating or educational something that the audience likes, and they're willing to, without asking, they're willing to give them these, tips, whether they're galaxies, whatever, roses, whatever. But so they're there, the audience is there. They built this audience that cares about the streamer, cares about the content, cares about that relationship they feel like they have with the streamer. But whenever you go to like a Web3 style, and the reason why I don't think it really worked before 4 or 5 months ago, whenever they first started this, was because first they were catering towards crypto Twitter, which is completely programmed to number go up or I'm out of here, right? And so that's why I think that didn't take off initially. Then it seems like, and then the streamers also weren't doing stuff that like was just focused on the content more. It was, everything was always focused on token price. Always. That's where I think problem is. Then now it seems like they're trying to change up the content approach by doing stuff that's more typical of like really successful streamers. And we're going to see if the audience that comes from regular streaming can kind of transition over to Pumpfun and this Web3 model. And instead of just out of their goodness, or they like the streamer or the content that he's creating and they're like buying his token to support him with the fees, then, you know, can they do that? Can they still make it focused about the streamer and the content and that relationship? Or will they get kind of mesmerized into, yes, I'm supporting my streamer I like, buying these tokens, but now I want my token to go up. And that's the most important thing, because if that happens, this won't last.
Yeah, 100%. I just got an idea when you're talking about, like, I'm gonna call it Trank coin, because Trank is a drug here in Philly, and there's a spot called Kensington. I'm gonna walk up and down Kensington Avenue and with my phone and call it Trank, and then look at all the crackheads. Is that messed up? And they have their legs and stuff that are all like chopped off and stuff. Because
I think I think it comes down to like because
that's what streamers do. I mean,
yeah,
Avenue.
Yeah, because they do it to. There's two, from what I've seen, there's two different approaches to stuff like what you're talking about. One, to actually bring awareness to what's happening there, or two, to bring the shock and awe to the audience, because they want to see stuff like that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Everyone's selfish. But, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's not. I have seen some people that go to Kensington. They're like, "Hey, tell me your story and tell me, you know, what happened. How'd you get? They have good views. They have.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they do it. They don't do it the kindness to help these people. Like they do it for the views. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the views at the end of the day is money for them and stuff like that. So, but like that's the thing too, is like how many crazy things these kids do before it gets old, right? And then you have bag holders that are going to be like, yo, dude, they're going to end up killing themselves. Like when do we see that Pumpfun streamer kills himself, you know, in accident? You know, he goes into the lions thing at a zoo, then the lion mauls him to death, right? So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, how far is too far? And
but,
you know,
I don't think that's success. I don't think that's the blueprint or playbook for a successful streamer in the first place, right? If you think about that, yes, there's a limit of shock and awe. You know, people don't want to go to jail consistently. They don't want to hurt themselves and stuff like that. And they get the support from their audience because they tip them through Kick or through TikTok or whatever. But so you can't. I think if what you just explained is more about going back to like the token first and foremost, and that's it. You know what I mean? And I don't think that you can do that. There's no way for it to be sustainable. And that goes back to GameFi too. Like if it's all about the token, no one cares. You're not going to put out a good product. You know what I mean? Because the focus is, and that's the difference between good streamers on Kick and good streamers on TikTok and good streamers on YouTube or whatever platform they're using, is they're focused on their content first, their content and connecting with their audience. But if you come over to a Web3 streaming and you care about the tokens performance, then now that changes, right? And that changes for your focus isn't content first. It's getting the price up. And you have this pressure of keeping the price up. Also, there's two different expectations. There's the content creator and the audience, right? So, you know, if you can be able to bridge over the traditional streaming mindset to Pumpfun, what Pumpfun's doing there, don't care about the token and maintain that and keep your audience to do that, and they're there for you as a content creator and the content you're creating, then maybe it could work. But that's now you're dealing with two people that have to focus on what streaming is about. So streaming could go down a very dark road if it becomes all about the success of a token related to streaming.
Well, it is that. I mean, just go to any random stream, right? And you just go to any random. I'll just pick a random one. Pick this one, for instance, right? You see this? He's live right now, right? They're doing their normal stuff.
This is like TikTok stuff.
Yeah, but look, this is the problem. right? Just and you look at the comments, nothing like the comments are all about the coin. Like they don't care about anything else but the number going up. You know what I mean? And like it gets a little. I got to take this off screen because it was like dropping stuff.
Yeah.
But like
I saw some of those comments just now, by the way, and you're right. It's coin this, coin that, coin this. But if that was a TikTok stream, the questions would be like, what do you cook? What do you prepping for? What are you making? What are you making? What are you cooking? And the guy would be like, on TikTok, they're constantly checking the chat, like, oh, I'm doing my favorite omelet. This is everybody asked for this omelet, So now they get that model that we just saw cannot survive.
No, it can't. And the fact that the chart is just as big as the stream, you know what I mean? If the chart was like small at the bottom or something, but if the focus is the chart, the focus will always be the chart. Just stay on TikTok if you don't want to deal with that. Like, and that's what a lot of these streamers are going to come over here. They're going to deal with, and then eventually going to go back. It's not sustainable. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, the only way
can you make money?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the only way that it can be sustainable is if they change that focus. But if it's the Solana type of audience, then they'll never be able to not focus on that, because it's always been money first in their mind, number go up first, not about the quality of the content that's being produced, not about the quality of the individual that's streaming, or the quality of the relationship that they can build, because there is no relationship with the relationship is you make this token go up, then I'm happy. If you don't, I'm out. I'm out. You know what I mean?
I'm out either way. After I dump it, I'm not watching this no more. Because the only reason I'm watching it is for you to make my number go up. So I'm not even a real community.
But it does kind of bring out some of the core problems with our space, though. I think you know what I mean, and I get it. Like, it's a monetary based ecosystem and industry, right? But you can't integrate it into everything unless, like, the product has to be whatever you're trying to integrate it into. That product that you're trying to integrate it into has to be the main focus. That has to be the money cannot be the main focus. Like, the product, the experience has to be you have to deliver a good product and experience and have a relationship from consumer to business or platform to consumer. And then, like, you see the token or the payment rails as just like a tool, you know what I mean? As like an asset. And so we'll see if they can change the perspective, but that's going to be really, really hard to do.
100%. Like, yeah, and like, the question is, well, these kids are making money, right? Yeah, they are. Like this kid right here, a broke dev, $50 in his bank, started a live stream on Pumpfun where every one soul adds 30 seconds to his global timer. Within 1 hour, Pumpathon hit 2 million, thousands tuned in live, and the dev made $120K in fees. He shaved his head on stream, booked a flight to Miami, even brought a friend who quit his job on the spot to film. When he couldn't stream mid-flight, the chart dipped because traders expected the feed to never stop. Is this the moment meme coins turn financialized reality TV? But that's the problem, right? He stopped streaming for a plane ride, and people gave up on the coin. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's one of those things where as soon as it stops.
Yeah, but whenever he picked back up, it started to go back up, right?
No, it's done now. The plane ride kind of ruined everything for this kid.
Really?
If you go to Pumpathon, it's barely, it's not doing anything. I haven't checked it recently, but when I checked it earlier, it was like dead.
Again, though, like, that shows that it's not about the content or the streamer. It's only about the coin's performance. You know what I mean? And so when you're trying to create a legitimate, like, streaming platform, it can't be about the market cap of the token. It just absolutely can't be that. Like, that cannot be the main focus.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It 100%. Has to be the content that they're creating, or the way that they build a relationship with their audience. Point blank.
And then you have something like this, Alex Becker. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like and comment your soul wallet. Here's the rules for the stream starting soon. I will go live here. Pumpfun profiles at ZSS Becker under a new token. Do not buy the test token. Not a joke. If you do, that's on you. We're gonna talk markets, play games for a lot of fun. Yeah. So this coin's gonna do great. It's Alex Becker. Everyone loves Alex Becker. He's crazy. He's stupid. He's funny. It's one of those things where he's like the perfect crypto content creator because, like, he knows the game, right? He knows how to troll. He talks crap on the Cardano people. You know what I mean? He's just that guy. You know, his main joke is I think he was the first person to say like your wife's boyfriend. Like that was his claim to fame, in my opinion, was your wife's boyfriend, the Cardano holders, stuff like that. So, but what do you think about Alex Becker bringing his stream now, because he does stream on YouTube, to Pumpfun? And do you think he's gonna hate it? He's gonna hate it, dude. And the comments are just all about the coin.
Yeah, I mean, also like he's probably gonna try hard. If he's not doing well, he'll give up quick because he doesn't want to like keep that going. But yeah, the market cap actually for Pumpathon is at 3 million, so it's still doing good.
Okay.
Yeah. So it did pick back up.
A different one then.
But that one I feel like has a little bit of an edge because it's gambling focused. You know what I mean? So like they're already degenerates anyways, right? But something like Alex Becker, that's a good test because he has a huge audience. Can he keep talking? Can he connect with, and can he bring new people in? You know what I mean? Because I do think there has to be a new mindset for it to work, like I mentioned.
Yeah, can he withstand that? Will he get tired of it? Right? Like it's going to get old. Like he's somebody who creates pre-records because he doesn't go live. He doesn't like going live. He chops it up and has someone edit it down for him, right? So it's just like I don't know. We'll see. It's a really good to kind of see, right? How this stuff kind of happens in real time, but we'll see. Let's move along though. Okay, so this is interesting. So Pumpfun has overtaken Hyperliquid in 24-hour volume. Hyperliquid was the #1 gambling site, and now it's going back to Pump. Pump had this title though before Hyperliquid. Pump was the #1 in fees over the last 2 years, since I want to say May of 2023 when it launched, and it is reclaimed its #1 spot above Hyperliquid. The only ones that are having more revenue are the stablecoin issuers, and that's really it, and Coinbase, obviously.
Yeah, obviously people are, starting to like some of this streaming meta. I feel like it's a mixed bag though, because it's like they make it sound like it's so easy to, someone with maybe like 5,000 followers on X or something to make a lot of money. But obviously there's you got to put work into it. You got to put some effort into it. But people seem to like it. We'll see. We'll see when, there has to be a big name, in my opinion, or just maybe those bag worker boys or something end up being, because they're already interacting with like big regular streamers. Like Aiden Ross is talking about to look them up, right? And so that could be their, Pumpfun's kind of big kind of entry into the streaming world that they've been looking for.
Yeah, and there's no copyright or anything, right? So it's like they can stream Drake's song unreleased, right? And they did another song today from, I think it was Future, that was people are just sending them these unreleased thing and they're putting it up, right? I don't know how they're getting them, but like people are sending them these tracks and they're playing them live, and these rappers are getting all like pissed off about it because people can listen to their track before they release it. So I don't know. We'll see. But this is the next thing here. Native Markets has secured the USDH ticker on Hyperliquid and plans to deploy USDH HIP1 along with its ERC20 contract in the coming days. So it's official. Paxos lost. Native Markets won. Their plan, the validators chose, was for them to basically take half of the revenue that they get from the yield of holding this token, and they're going to constantly buy back the Hyperliquid token. Sounds absolutely bullish to me. And the other half of it is going to invest into builders to build on the Hyperliquid blockchain. I mean, these guys they're not getting any of this money. They're giving basically all back into the ecosystem because they're investors in the Hyperliquid, right? At the end of the day, they need the coin to go up. That's how they make their money, and this is how they're doing it. What do you think about Native Markets beating out of the Kraken, PayPal, and Paxos?
Probably gave them a deal that they couldn't refuse, right? I mean, if you're going that hard into trying to expand the Hyperliquid ecosystem, and you are, I don't know, did they originally come from the Hyperliquid ecosystem?
So they just came Monday. The one guy is a lead investor. He was like their seed round investor, so he's deep in. He has a bunch of tokens, and the other guys are from the ecosystem.
Gotcha. Okay, so familiar with them, in multiple ways. So it made sense. We both kind of knew that it was going to go this way, but it does get me, I'm still bullish on the stories last week to where, it seemed like Kraken and it seemed like PayPal were trying to court Hyperliquid for the Paxos stablecoin, right? So I'm bullish on Hyperliquid because that made me feel like they were like eager to get the deal done. And Native won. Congratulations to them. I'm sure they're going to benefit immensely from it. But Hyperliquid has been making the right decisions the entire cycle that I've seen so far, other than the tiny blip, which was not really so tiny, but it was an exploit, but they took care of it. So
yeah, 100%. All right, let's get into the crypto fear and greed, and it is surprising. But last week we're at a 42. Yesterday we're at a 52. We're a tiny bit lower than yesterday's 52. Where do you think we're at?
50.
51. Boom, right
51.
there. I don't know. Do you feel like we're in the 50s? The market doesn't feel that way. I mean, ETH under 45 for the first time in a while. My whole screen is red here. Besides Merlin, shout out to Merlin, but gold, NASDAQ, S&P, all green today. Dow Jones is red, tiny bit. Dominance is up a little bit. DXY is down, which is a really good sign. I think it's getting ready for the rate cuts. And then Farcoin down. Everything's down. Everything's red. Wilfi is green, but I don't know. I don't feel 51 here, man.
Yeah, you don't feel 51 because 51 is not probably how everybody feels. We were at 116,600 at midnight. So 1 a.m. Eastern. So that score was scored around, you're talking probably around like a 116,000 high, 115,000. So, it definitely, is skewed because of the time in between, and that's what we're seeing. So, I mean, we were at 116,600 at, actually it went even higher. It went to 116,800 at 2 a.m. Eastern, and then something happened overseas to really take it down all the way to 114. So, something happened overseas overnight, and they definitely sold down. So
yeah, at that time though, that was when China came out with NVIDIA. I didn't really think it was a big enough story for the show today, but on CNBC, one of the biggest things was, I'm not even seeing it anymore. Did they take it down? But yeah, it was NVIDIA basically getting told by China that they were a monopoly and they needed to. Here it is. NVIDIA violated anti-monopoly law after probe. So that was the news that I saw Bitcoin and Ethereum really start dipping on, and I was like, this isn't even crypto news. But it looks like everything else bounced back besides crypto.
Yeah, that's what makes me think it wasn't because of that, though. Because why would NVIDIA bounce back, everything bounce back, but then, Bitcoin and Ethereum don't? It's just kind of weird. But again, the altcoin season index score is weird to me too right now. At a 70, like everything on the crypto bubbles in the last, for today, is red. If I go to the last hour, even the last hour, it's all red. So where are they getting this score of 70 from? It's absolutely weird. But I don't know. Maybe it's speculation or anticipation for some other stuff. Or
where are you getting that number from?
On CoinMarketCap. If you go to the altcoin season index.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
It could be against Bitcoin, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. So definitely.
Let's move along though. Let's jump into the Bitcoin price action and crypto bubbles, brought to you guys by Artura.finance. Guys, head over to Artura.finance, and you guys will see this amazing site they have here. Highly recommend you guys coming here, adding some Bitcoin over here, and this is what you do. You get some PUSD. We have a video for you guys if you're interested in figuring out how to get the PUSD. But once you have the PUSD, you can come over here and you can start leverage trading. So why leverage trade on Artura? Well, the main reason is they have a point system. Right, and they're going to be doing their TGE probably in a couple weeks. Tomorrow we will be going live with them, and if you have any questions, hop in there and let's talk about the TGE. So potentially we're going to know really soon whether or not you're going to be getting coins with airdrop or whatever. But tune in tomorrow. We're going to dive deep into that. But you guys come over here right now. As you see, that's me in second place. Somebody has taken me. $433 gets you in that first place spot. First place spot is guaranteed $5,000 in stablecoin, and second place, I'm not really sure what that's going to be. We'll find out tomorrow, though. We'll dig deep into everything with that. Come over here, make value, make trades, and you guys will get points. But not only that, when you're using Artura, you're using the Botanix blockchain. Overtakes is saying they're going to do the biggest Bitcoin airdrop ever, and to the people who use the chain. So when you're using Artura and you're getting the points, you're actually earning Bitcoin as well. So definitely head over here to Artura.finance today and start messing around and start getting those points for both Overtakes and Artura.
Absolutely excited for that. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern for the Trader's Edge. That's going to be co-hosted by us and Artura. But before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, help us out on the YouTube side. Smash that like for us. Subscribe to the channel. We've been seeing an uptick in subscriptions, even though things have been kind of slow for a lot of content creators. But we have seen that, so we appreciate you guys. And then turn your notifications on as well, so you know when we go live. And on the X side, let's share this space, guys. Get as many people in here as possible. Same thing with Abstract, Twitch, Rumble, Kick, all those good platforms. And don't forget Spotify as well. Let's get into some Bitcoin price action here. Going to start off with the Bitcoin hour chart. Let's take a look here. Looks like we are trying to get out of the sell pressure. Still not convinced though yet. We need to see this fast blue line start to curl up. We need to see the blue line start to curl up on the stochastics as well. Head back to the oversold kind of border there at that 20-point mark. We're sitting at a 4.4 exactly here. So we definitely need to see some stronger buy bids come in to kind of get us out of here. Let's take a look at support and resistance. Going back to 5 a.m. is what I like to look at. And one more. There we are. All right. Let's take a look here. All right. I'm going to open that up, pull this up here. Perfect. All right. So the 114,600 area that we're at currently, looks like the battle is pretty balanced there. A slight edge to the resistance below that. Resistance taken over. Let's see, two levels right below that. So we don't really see support to come back in until we get to 114,500. 530, so about $100 dip here, and then above we are pretty balanced as well, and then we do see support kind of picking things back up at the 114,700. So that is kind of promising here, because you know the volume is pretty close to like the highest volume areas. There's about 4 different price point areas to where volume is pretty you know, good in terms of like you know, not being super thin there, but it looks like it just switched because I popped out here. So yeah, you know, definitely need to see some signs of coming out of this though. So you know, I would be very patient here and see if maybe today is just going to be a bloody day, or not necessarily a bloody day, but a downtrend day, right? Maybe we kind of have some chop to the downside until we see this pick back up, because as of right now we don't see the indicator, or the part of the indicator at the end here, this kind of MACD red candle gets smaller. It's about the same size. Yes, we are showing it getting weaker. It's breaking down a little bit, but we need to see some convincing, like, you know, pull back up there, and I'm just not seeing it. So wouldn't be shocked if we go sideways here with a little bit of downtrend. Maybe we try to visit back down to the lower 114s. Maybe we get to 114. We'll see. But that is what I'm seeing right now with Bitcoin. Yesterday, I thought that Bitcoin and Ethereum would see a second half of the day bounce back, which we kind of did. We saw that, you know, really strong pull back up. It did get to 116. So to be fair to us, I would say, because we did a members video yesterday, you know, we did see that there would be a pull up, and it did happen. And in 1 a.m. Central Time, it completely reversed. So, you know, didn't expect that though throughout the night. I'll say that. On the 4 hour, let's take a look here for Bitcoin. 4 hour looks like it's strong in the sell pressure, guys. I'm not gonna lie, you know, this looks like it's gonna reverse on the stochastics as well. MACD looks like it's going straight down here. So just watch the hour chart. If we can't get out of the hour chart and we seem to, you know, trend down to the downside, and looks like we're heading to 114, this is probably going to give us further conviction even more, but it definitely looks like it wants to go down further. And that is what I'm seeing. Let's take a look at the daily for Bitcoin. And Ethereum is going to be very similar to Bitcoin on days like this, unless there is some specific news like an upgrade or something like that would change it. But Bitcoin on a daily looks like we are losing some of the buy pressure here, but I'm not too worried about this yet. I want to see how today plays out, because it does look like we are holding here at least, you know. But if we lose those areas on the 4 hour, 1 hour, we could see that downtrend happen. But if we do see the downtrend, how aggressive does it happen, right? So paying attention to the 4 hour, the 1 hour is going to be very important. Do we get a really aggressive downtrend and go below 114? If so, we could look like we're going to close this out, but I think this is going to be more of a fake out because Wednesday we have a rate cut. There's no real true reasons to be super bearish or anything right now. So I'm not worried about the daily yet. I need to, see the action on the 4 hour and the 1 hour to finish the day. And then I'll have a more clear outlook on what Bitcoin is going to look like possibly for the next, week or so based on the daily. As of right now, it is showing like we're seeing some cracks, but we haven't lost momentum yet. Ethereum on the hour, same thing. Like I said with Bitcoin, it's kind of just, seems like it's losing. Let's check and see if the support and resistance is different for Ethereum though. I'm going to pull it up to that kind of same time frame that I use for Bitcoin there. All right, I'm pulling just a little bit more and then open this up and pull this up. Okay. All right. Yeah. So definitely resistance is winning in most all areas here. Yeah. So it's definitely seems like it's following Bitcoin's trajectory of what I'm thinking Bitcoin could possibly do. We don't really see a support pullback up until 44.72. So, Ethereum is obviously different, in terms of units, right? So a $10 dip is where I see support would kick in. It is pretty strong here though, but the volume's lower in this region, right? This area that we're looking at, the volume picks back up or is the highest here at the 45.12, 45.10 area. So yeah, looks like Ethereum probably going to go down further as well. And you can see the MACD doesn't look great as well on the hour. Let's check the daily real quick for Ethereum. Same thing, just kind of try to get some buy pressure going. But I think this could be a trick situation too, just like Bitcoin, right? Let's say that we do kind of go to the downside here. It looks like we're going to completely come out of buy pressure here, which never really got started anyways for Ethereum. Then we get bullish as we get closer to Wednesday, and then we pop this back open, and it starts small like it did back here in July, and then we pop back open. So I could see a scenario like that. So I'm going to be patient before, I think today is going to be some bearish price action for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I think that we pick things back up as we get closer to Wednesday. All right, looking at the crypto bubbles, very red is what I'm seeing everywhere. So you're seeing on average around 3 to 4% a pullback. You do have your outliers. Hex pulling back 10% there. Bonk pulling back 7.2, probably because Pumpfun is thriving, at least with its creator meta there. I don't even see Pumpfun on here right now, but Pumpfun is green. So that makes sense. It's up 2.1% there. Aerodrome up 8.7%. So there must be some sort of release or some sort of something with base maybe, or another partner that they partnered with there. So they're up 8.7%. Willfi up 2.7%. And Monero up 2.7%, which is weird. I did see them in the headlines though. So I guess something bullish happened with Monero. I'm not sure what that was though. On the top 200, you see Avant, it looks like up 30%. So that's definitely a win for whoever's in that, right? You see White up to 5.7%. This token to me only goes up when everything else goes down, for real.
I know. Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah,
really
I mean, everything else is like 3 to 5% pullback. Except for those that have been sticking out. Zora here up 17%. They needed a bounce back for sure because they were getting hit hard there. Merlin, one of the only in the green too, up 2% here. I think we're going to have Jeff on the show here in a little bit, so you guys get your questions ready for him. DGen pulling up 11.6%. But yeah, most everything is red today, guys, with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the alts.
Yup. Let's kind of jump into the next thing here, which is roll call. We got to jump into the comments. You guys say you guys aren't looking at the comments. It's because we do it right now during roll call. We cover each and every comment and actually take that first comment from YouTube and put it on a spreadsheet. So what we're going to do, my guy Lackey Lukey in first place officially with 45. He was tied with the great Webdro with 44, and now he's officially taken a number one spot back from Webdro. So congratulations, Lackey Lukey, and we'll see if you can maintain that until the end of the year, where you'll win a Bitcoin frog, my friend. So thankful for you, Lackey, man. Absolutely awesome. Arita is here. Shout out to Arita. He says, "Is it possible to get an OG pass out of the Traverse Vault now they shut down?" So, bro, I reached out to those guys and I'm not getting nothing back. So I don't know what to tell you. We've said it for months after Traverse was talking about shutting down. We're like, yo, this is your last chance to get your stuff out of there. So I don't know. Reach out to those guys. Maybe put some tweets out there. I don't know what to do. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we can continually just try to hit them up and see if we get lucky.
I did, dude. I hit them up 3 times in the same chat. Nothing.
Yeah, that's why whenever stuff like that happens, we make those announcements and stuff like that. But we'll we've reached out to them and we'll let you know if we get a response from them.
I don't think it's lost. I just think that they created a mechanism to get your stuff out. I just never wrote it down or anything. I think Arita, you might be one of the few people still in there. Lucky Lukey is here again, and then we have Bitcoin is Truth is here. Abstract, Chips and Dip, Spindrift, Crypto. My guy, appreciate you, my friend. Vader time each and every day. Vader, man, absolutely awesome. K99 is here. Buenos Ideas, the legend himself. Chief Axel is here. Joko is here. Mirakas, I got you, my friend. Make Bitcoin fun again. Thank you, sir, so much for being here every single day. Mats is here. Shout out to Mats. Buenos Ideas says red candles today. Wednesday ignition incoming. I hope so, man. I really do. Mats, the other Mats is here. Shout out to the other Mats. Dogs on Air is here. Patty Poo, the Bitcoin machine himself. He says rooms won't pump until we are in full quantitative easing mode, and that's probably true. That's probably what it is. That might be what a lot of these tokens are really waiting for, some actual liquidity to come into the markets through QE. But I don't know, man. My problem is like I think there's just so much better places to put your money right now, and like I like new room. I'm going to be getting the newer tokens, the new the Spark tokens. So I don't know. I just think I think the newer stuff's going to pump the hardest, but we'll see. Digital is here. I can never say that. Seamson is here. Shout out to Seamson. He says virtually everyone in the space is certain that a rate cut announcement will be made. What if the reverse were to be the case? Are we prepared for what's so Polymarket just isn't wrong? There's no chance of that happening. There's too much money there to be wrong. So
yeah, I agree with that. That would be extremely rare, in my opinion. This late and all that stuff. It would be detrimental, though. I think.
Markets. Yeah, but Jerome just doesn't surprise markets. He's never has in the last 2 years. He's always been pretty. Everyone knows what he's going to do before he does it. Alpha Gamers here. He said not all treasury companies are the same. Naka tanks today and falls off a cliff. Naka is actually the Bitcoin Magazine token, right?
Yep. Yes, it's their treasury company.
Yeah. CNX is here. Shout out to you, my friend. Patty Poo again. He said, isn't a no cash bail anyway? Yeah, I don't know about that. There's no cash bail in LA. That's crazy.
Did they change that? Maybe they did. Or if it is, then they just did that for the stream, right?
Yeah, Patty Poo is here. Shout out to Patty Poo. He's myself says ChatGPT lies. Not everything it says should be taken at face value. So this is what you do, myself. You can get it to make sure that it never lies. You have to just put a prompt in there, so it saves everything to its memory, and you say, "Hey, save this in your memory. Never give me anything that's not a fact." That's what I tell my ChatGPT. So it straight up tells me, "Hey, this might not be a fact," and stuff like that. And when stuff is a fact, I know that it's telling me that because I already put that prompt in there. So it only tells me stuff that is completely true. You can set your ChatGPT. You have full control over its memory. You can put in there whatever. So my ChatGPT never gives me more than 200 characters per text, and it makes it for mine is super slow. Like my wife uses hers and it's like super fast. But because I have it fact checking everything, mine's like super slow. But I'd rather it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua Robert Hathaway is here. My guy, appreciate you, my friend. Myself is here. Myself says network effects are often a key driver into token performance. Metcalfe's law, man, crypto is valued like a network. Yeah. Crypto Dakota says Shizzy doesn't know what he's talking about tokens still up. Yeah, I must have been looking at something else. I could have sworn it did. Did it take a big dip? I could have sworn it took a giant dip.
I think it took a dip when he was on the plane, though.
Gotcha.
But I think that was probably expected. Yeah.
Myself said when holder count goes up, the price often goes up the square of the holder count. You can see it with many long lasting tokens on Mazari. So when holder count goes up, the price also goes up. Yeah, I mean that's usually how it works. What happens when the holder count is dropping though? That's the problem. Jake mentioned Stan says Jake mentioned having a lean staff. In the channel's opinion, how much of an impact can a large staff have in a price appreciation? For example, ICP bloated with staff. So with AI, there's no reason for you to have more than 10 people. Like there's seriously no reason. I mean, Hyperliquid has 10 people. You know, I think he said some of the bigger Solana projects have like 10 people as well.
Yeah, I think Radium actually has like 9.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Alpha Gamer says, does Botonics run on Bitcoin? I still need to get my Artura going. Wondering how to fund my wallet there to bridge. So all you do is run over to 2100 A Bitcoin World. And we have a video on how to do that. You can walk through it, and actually it walks you through exactly how to use Artura.finance. And if you need help with that, just DM me, Alpha. I can send you the video. But that wraps up roll call for you guys, and let's jump into our next segment here. So every Monday, we're lucky enough to have the great guys from Merlin join the show. Merlin is building something truly special. They're building AI. They're building the Wizard, which is 100% phenomenal. They're also building a BitFi. They're one of the few places where you can go and take your Bitcoin and actually earn with it. They do have a vault right now that gets you between 10 and 20% or something like that. I think it's like 16% right now, which is insane for Bitcoin. So if you guys are interested in that, head over to merlin.io. But let's get this show started and bring up Jeff. Jeff, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thanks so much for being here, sir.
Sorry, a little bit coughing today.
Yeah, you're good.
You guys. Yeah.
Good. Actually, I'm starting to think that the NACA stock was causing maybe Bitcoin to kind of dump a little bit, because I'm seeing that on my timeline.
Yeah.
But that could be a part of it there. But let's get into a little bit about what's been happening with you. And you've obviously been traveling a lot. You're going to travel again this next week to the Korea blockchain. And first, how do you view the current space we're in, or like I should say phase we're in? It looks like altcoin season index keeps going up a little bit, but we're not feeling it. And then we can go into what your plans are for the travel and all that stuff. But let's talk about the markets first.
Yeah, I think Bitcoin and Ethereum is holding strong. It's just not going up. But I think, if you can hold, a little bit above that, for a couple of days, a week, the market will definitely be back. And I think we see lots of alts going crazily recently, and probably in the Asian market. But just some Binance, token, Binance Pip token, going to 25 billion FTV, not big deal, but definitely, more people are trading on perps and alts than before. So I think that's a good signal as well. And you see all these new giant projects. The price is doing very well. Like Pump, Pump was like 20 cents. Right now it's like 80 cents, something like that. And you see Nina is doing okay. And so like all these, big VC backed projects. I mean, Pumpfun is not VC backed, but still like lots of circulation, lots of pre-sale. So you can see all these big projects with selling pressure, but doing very well. This is something we've never seen in the past 12 months. Every Binance token, newly listed token is like going down, but recently you see all these tokens are going up. So I think the market is definitely different. We feel this. We have lots of founders and builders in Asia trying to get all in, and the DAT stuff also not only in Nasdaq but also in Hong Kong stock exchange as well. So yeah, like I don't say this every time, probably like once in a few months, but I think right now it's a good time to be risk on.
Wow, it's huge from you, because you've been very a little bit laid back over the last couple of weeks or a couple months really at the markets, and now you're basically saying risk on. I am noticing that you are right. It is the Asian markets that are really pushing stuff like BNB, $900. The Merl token absolutely ripping. I think was over 15 cents right now. So that's there it is right here. So that's absolutely huge, by the way. Holding 15 cents. I mean, you guys have a great pattern here as well. Is the bull run happening in Asia, and maybe we're just missing it over here in the West?
Yeah, I think the main difference is the retail right now don't trade spot anymore because they don't have the mindset of hold. Because 4 years before, people are saying you have to be a diamond hand. People like always tell you have to be a diamond hand. You have to hold like Dodge, like Shibano, like even Luna, Solana, like all these tokens. If you hold, you're making money like all the time. I mean until the final collapse. But people tell you you need to hold. But this time, people don't hold. People don't buy, token. Just hold there. If you're holding all these altcoins, you're probably losing all your money. To be like completely honest. But the people are more likely to trade on purpose because purpose is like definitely something reflecting the mindset. This cycle is you're going quick, you put high leverage, and you pull out quick. And the market is actually incentivizing these mindset people. So you can see like MLX, they have like 10 billion trading volume just on Binance per day. And you see like meme core, they have billions, like 5 billion, say 7 billion in trading volume per day. So you can see all this, like even like Merlin, I think last, like, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday, like it had over 1 billion trading volume on purpose. And so it's like,
wow.
Like you cannot have 1 billion trading volume on spot for any token, like if you look at like story is like a 10 billion, like dollar valued, FDV token. What's the trading volume today on OKX? Let me check right now. Yeah, it's like 17 million. It's not even close to like 1 billion or 2 billion. So I think the mindset is more about gambling, more about putting on leverage. So tokens with lots of huge pump or back and forth are getting the attention from the markets. So I think that's the difference between West and East in the past 1 to 2 months.
Wow. So we're basically in an area where it's just gambling. I mean, that's all perps really is. Everyone's just gambling right now. We're kind of seeing that with Pumpfun. Have you been paying attention to what's been happening on Pumpfun with the bag work boys and all that stuff as well?
The streamer meta.
Yeah. I saw that news. Yeah. And I think Pumpfun buyback is a great idea because they are making lots of money and they're using the money to buy back, which is like definitely a good sign. That's why it was like 20 cents. Everybody was like bearish on this, and it got up like 400 times higher. And I think tokens like that. We actually had I saw the news from Look OnChain today. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet, but you can check it later. So somebody just I don't know who. I'm not going to say anything, but some people they withdraw like over like about like 100 million Mer token from OKX. So right now, like the token in the OKX is like
$100 million in value.
No, token.
Right. Oh, it was token. I thought it was value. Okay.
Yeah, so
I was about to say that's not that's like 90% of the market cap. Yeah, 100. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, but still, like there are only like 30 million, 40 million tokens left in the exchange. So it's like very, 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 very few limited tokens in the exchange right now. And I think the projects who are doing buyback is definitely like a good sign for the market. And so people can, because right now we have too many tokens, like like we have too many tokens, and if you buy spots, sometimes it's just like if you're like for example, like for the Bitcoin ecosystem, if you buy like Avalon or Babylon or Solve or Magic Eden or Doc, if you buy the spot, the price just not just like
moving
ups and downs. But if you're doing perp, people are gambling, which I don't think is right. But it's definitely something we see in this cycle. Nobody's holding a token forever right now.
Yeah, and actually, I was wrong, obviously, on that. It was $15 million of value, but anyways, I think you're right. There isn't this kind of spot holding, and that's the biggest difference. Even if, like, the only fast-paced spot holding is obviously on Solana with Pumpfun or these type of meme kind of casinos. But do you think that this is going to last, or do we? Because if you think about even for people that have been in crypto the past couple cycles, but more so like the traditional investor, they don't want to work that way. They want to work in, hey, this is my portfolio. I want to be able to sell in good profit in 4 to 6 months. Will that come back, in your opinion?
I mean, if you're buying the blue chips, yes. If you're buying Ethereum, Solana, BNB, even Swing, even Story, Ethena. I think, you know, like I saw the news, like the Base network is considering, you know, launch its own token. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Whoa.
But yeah, I just saw that, you know, the Base network is trying to, you know, figuring out, you know, how to launch their native token for Base network. But yeah, but I mean, if you're buying the blue chips, and by blue chips means, you know, at least like, you know, $5 billion FTV, you know, listed on, you know, Coinbase and Binance and Upbit, like all these major exchanges. If you're buying that, yeah, like if you're buying BNB or like Tron, you know, like Cardano or like, you know, XRP, you're making profits all the way, you know, from 2022 to today.
Yeah, but if you want to make significant amount, you got to have size if you do that, right? Because you're talking about $5 billion market caps and up. But like before, you had the blue chips that would run, then you would have like these mid caps, and a lot of times that's where these first level of new opportunities come in. Then you have kind of smaller caps and then micro caps, which are all probably new kind of opportunities. So you're saying from kind of like the new opportunities down, you got to be very more selective, more picky of what, you know, going in and adding those to your portfolio. And, you know, still going to take that, you know, 4-month kind of turnaround for you to make a good profit there.
Yeah, it's going to be harder and harder. The game is going to be harder. But I think in general, I think, you know, if you're not just buying everything, you know, you saw on Twitter, if you're being like, you know, somehow selective, if you buy, you know, BNB was like $150, I think, you know, in 2022. And it's like 600 times now, which is, you know, very, very good, like return, even comparing to, you know, stocks. You know, Ethereum was like, I don't know, 1,500. Right now it's like, you know, 3 times. Bitcoin was like, you know, 5 times higher. So yeah, if you're being like selective, like on blue chips, which, you know, only takes, you know, like very little time, I think, you know, making some safe profits. But if you want to catch the alpha for like 100 times, like Solana, like, you know, from $0.50 to like $200, you know, these chances are going to be very, very, very slim. And I don't think, you know, research would be like a major affecting that. Probably, you know, more on luck. And like, you know, like for example, like Sway or Story, you know, they're listed like very, very high valuation. So you cannot get like 100, 200 times, you know, profits now. Not like Ori or Sets. You know, Sets and Ori definitely, you know, had that, you know, like in the before. Yeah.
It sounds to me that we're entering into this, you know, determining who the big winners are going to be phase of like the early 2000s, the .com bust and all that stuff, and then pouring into the Amazons, the Yahoos, the Googles, and all those things. Once that was kind of established, or figuring out what that is, you know, they weren't even making revenue much in the very beginning. They were just being invested in and saying, hey, future advertising, this is our thing, stuff like that. So it got harder once the .com bubble busted, and that's where it seems like we are right now. So I do think that researchers can come into it, but I think first they're evaluating what is going to be the future products of our space, right? For example, AI, we know we have a good strong feeling that's going to be something, an RWA. So I love using RWA as an example because I love using Courtyard as an example. They started building in 2021, I think, or maybe 2022, when everybody ran away from the digital card collectible asset class being blockchain connected. They stuck with it and said, we think this is the future. They built for 4 years and they got some investment, and now they're doing $15 million in revenue a week. So I think they're a rare example of what we see today. But Polymarket is also can go into that bucket because they started building 2.5, 3 years ago. So more of that is what the research will go towards, you think?
Yeah, like I mean, like Hyperliquid. You know, Hyperliquid was like, you know, like
when they start.
Sorry.
When did Hyperliquid start building?
I think 2023. So it's like 2 years ago. And when they launched the token, I think it's like, you know, like to today, I think it's like 10 times higher. And the Hyperliquid is like very, very legit. Like I mean, if like average, you know, trader actually try Hyperliquid, you know, go through all their, you know, testnet, mainnet, and use their product, you know, he will find, you know, this product is like fascinating. You know, this is different. You know, this is the product we've never seen before, and the liquidity is really good. And you can see all these institutions are using that as ARB to other central exchange. So yeah, I'm not saying research doesn't matter. I'm just saying it's just we have too much noise. We have too many projects, and if you just look at Twitter, every project is like next big thing. But I think the one thing matters is you actually try the product, to use that for several months, and you actually to feel what is good or bad, and perhaps you pick 5 or 10, one of them can be like really successful.
Yeah, man. Every bull run usually comes with innovation, right? Like last cycle, we saw a lot of innovation, but it really didn't start until number went up. This year, we're kind of seeing AI as being one of the innovations. Prediction markets. Perps chains like Hyperliquid. Do you see any other innovation? Maybe you're hearing something from some of these conferences and stuff like that. Is there anything that maybe that could be like relevant in 3 months from now and be one of the biggest innovations of our cycle? Or do you think everything we have now is what we're going to have towards the end of the cycle?
To be honest, I think there are many innovations, but I don't think there are many investment opportunities in those innovations. For example, like
Gotcha.
PayFi. Yeah, people are doing like stable coins and PayFi, but all this are not necessary to be like an investment opportunity, because like many of these infras are not having their own token. And also like if you're believing in stable coin, you think WorldLibertyFi is a good project, which they like somehow they are they're launching the USD1 in many chains, in many changes, but it doesn't mean if you're buying WorldLibertyFi token, it's gonna make you rich, because these are like completely like two different things. To me, I think the biggest innovation this cycle is ETF and stock plus token. Like that's why I say the blue chips matter, because if you look at Amazon, if you look at Google, if you look at Apple, if you look at like Microsoft, the price is going up for the past 20, even 30 years, right? But right now we have all these stocks companies, they're building treasury for Solana, for BNB, for Ethereum, for Bitcoin, and they're not going to sell those tokens, just going to put them in the treasury for for a longer time, like 5 to 10 years. So these tokens could be the one it will go like Amazon. It's just like sometimes it goes down a little bit, but in general it's like always up opportunity. Like if you bought Amazon in 2020 in 2001, like that would be huge profits to today.
Yeah, the wait might be definitely longer now, as you said. I have one more question, and then we'll get into Merlin, because I definitely want to get into that. So Shizzy and I were talking about the Pumpfun streaming meta, and they're starting to take off finally. One of my arguments, or both of ours actually, is that crypto has had a hard time with adopting good products, because they don't look at the product and make the product the star of the show. It's still always going back to the coin, and if the coin goes up or down. And so right now we're starting to see these content creators on Pumpfun streaming, that's like they're starting to do stuff that's more similar to regular streaming. They're running out on the baseball field getting arrested, they're going to these other big streamers shaving their heads and stuff like that, and one of them really took off. But whenever someone's popular on YouTube or TikTok, it's always about the streamer, and the audience appreciates the streamer, and so they willingly, not forcibly, tip them with galaxies, all these things, and they have that relationship, right? They go there for the content and the streamer. But when Web3 tried to do it, it's the focus is always about the token, because it's a Web3 audience and stuff like that. Do you think Pumpfun could be a new streaming platform, with the way that we do it, with the coin first, and then also, or does it have to go back to kind of the creator and the content, and they'll buy their coin, but they're not worried about that. They're worried about, they love the streamer. What do you think?
I think if you're talking about crypto plus streaming, there's like other platforms, I think, that matters. I forgot the name. I'm trying to search that, but in Asia, there what's it called? I really forgot the name, but there's like a really big streaming platform like Twitch in Asia, that all these KOLs, all these traders go there live, talk to the audience, trade it live. If I'm bullish right now, I will put like a high leverage on Bitcoin, and to see if I make or lose money. So yeah, I think this platform will be like on mainstream. in the future, because it's more interactive. It's an easier way to understand what's going on in the market, like people watch this show. But I don't think that's going to be for Pumpfun. Pumpfun is just a launchpad, and that's where people want to catch the alpha, get the tokens when slow. And I don't think the streamer behind tokens will be there for a long time, because if you're going to Twitch or YouTube, those streamers are there for like years. For like I Show Speed, when he was like nobody, and streaming for like years, 5 years, 10 years, like Mr. Beast. Like I remember like the first time I saw Mr. Beast, it was like much smaller influencer than today. But Pumpfun, if you're a streamer, you have a token, you make some money, you're going on vacation. You're not going to stream again. So I don't think that's going to happen on Pumpfun, but definitely like some other platforms, yes.
But it makes sense though, like the reason why Web3 had such a hard time struggling with integrating products into the space is because the coin was always the focus, if it going up or down, rather than if the quality of the product, which actually goes back to Polymarket being successful, Courtyard kind of having success in that realm, and the other ones that didn't have a coin being successful. But yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate your perspective there. Let's get into Merlin. Merlin has been getting a lot of attention with, some institutional attention with a BTC yield earning product that you guys have. Also, you got these conventions coming up. So what's been going on with Merlin? The price seems strong, stable now. Is there just a lot of attention on it? And what are you guys doing to create that and maintain it?
Yeah, I think it took us, several months to actually, go through all of this. And I think we are one of the first players in that, institution, stock market, and the token. So we're pushing, like right now, we're pushing more agendas than before. We're working with several different companies with several different strategies. So one of them we have already announced, which is the institution holder. Means they give us the Bitcoin, and we do yield farming for those Bitcoin, and we are also going to have some joint venture with all these different companies by using that crypto to invest in different other projects, like of course including Merl. Merl will be like one of the first projects to help all these altcoins to build treasuries with those Nasdaq listed companies. And also, we are trying to do more DAT solutions, which means we're going to help some Hong Kong and US companies to choose Merl, like Grayscale did before, to choose Merl as one of the selected portfolio. So more stock market traditional traders, institutions would have a chance to buy tokens through fiat account through all these stock exchange apps. So I think and also we're trying to do some tokenizing stock strategy as well. So there are going to be some tokens might be deployed on Ethereum or even on MerlinChain to help the Web3 traders to actually buy stock market. So I think to get this joint liquidity is a very like I said, in this cycle is one of the most important thing is to let traditional traders buy tokens, and also to let Web3 traders buy stocks. And there are lots of platforms are doing that, brokers are doing that, and we want to be part of them. So yeah, but this doesn't have to do with tech innovations. I mean, there are some tech innovations there, like tokenizing stocks. I think Nasdaq said that they would do that as well. I think Kraken is doing that, Bybit is doing that, Gate is doing that, OKX and Binance are going to do that as well. So there are some tech innovations behind that, but mostly is trying to get the liquidity. Bridging back and forth from Web 2 to Web 3. So I think that's like one of the major issues we are going to address. Like a couple of months before and now, and probably in the next 6 to 12 months. And also for the KBW, I think we are going to have many events. I think the Merlin official account is going to post the whole agenda. About which events we're going, which one we're going giving a keynote, which one we're going to there for panel, like all these details. Just I just pay attention to what our official account posted. I think I'm going to Korea in 3 days. Yeah, in 3 days. Oh. I'm gonna be there in 3 days, and probably back next Wednesday, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's like the latest updates we have. I really do think getting the liquidity from the traditional market is very important, and you can see all these tokens who we call blue chips who are going strong right now are doing that. Ethereum is doing that, Babylon is doing that, Story is doing that. Of course, Ethereum, BNB, Tron, Solana, Bitcoin, they're doing that as well.
Yeah, it seems to be. I mean, people talk about, there's this unlock of $2 trillion with Bitcoin, but what's the unlock for TradFi? It's got to be like, 12 trillion. Exactly, right? So, yes, there's an opportunity in Bitcoin, but there's also opportunity getting that liquidity over. So that's where what you just talked about made me feel like a company like Merlin could actually have like a consulting arm, kind of a part of it, working with these like TradFi people that are a little lost, but I know because I've had friends working consulting. Consulting is big money, and if it's especially if it's needed, could you see something like that being formed in our space where like these blockchain companies have consulting arms that are like generating revenue that way?
Yeah, of course, because when we actually like I think 2 weeks ago we had the announcement with the company to make announcement to make issuing new stocks. Like right now, the law firms and the auditing firms, they are very new to this subject because it's very new. Nobody knows where the regulation where the bar is. That's why I think the whole Nasdaq ecosystems are trying to figure out what's going on, and what is forbidden to do, what is all right to do so, and that's why we work with all these companies who have intention to do so but don't know how. And also tokenizing the stock, making sure the Web3 traders can buy these stocks on Kraken, on Bybit, on Gate, is also very important. So yeah, so we consider ourselves the project not only for the token, but also we want to have a healthy business model, not only in BTC5 but also in other areas as well, to help us to get revenue, to get profits, to help the project grow. And if you see this after 3 or 4 years, you can see which projects are continuing to do that. It's going to be very different from the projects who just missed the opportunity or don't really care about this chance to work with all these TradFi institutions. And yeah, I think, and also we are pushing strong with AI. We are trying to deploy our AI product on different chains. On X layer, I think OKX is pushing their layer, X layer. Upbit is going to launch their own chain called Jiva. So yeah, so there are lots of opportunities right now. Like AI, LWA, but also TradFi, DAT, Cherry. So I think we just have to work harder and harder and to catch every opportunity we can, because I honestly believe the bull market is going to come.
Yeah, man. So you're saying is the Wizard, it could be like a B2B product where you guys are kind of earning off it, and potentially bringing the Merl price up as well.
Yeah, because the Wizard can do transactions on other chains. We're just trying to find a way how to profit from that, or is the user paying that, or the ecosystem paying that, because right now we don't see many chains with crazy volume. Like Ethereum and BNB, they have their old infras and builders, but if there's a new chain like Base or Sway or Solana coming up in the next a year or two, like X layer or GWA or new chains, and if they're going to have volume, I think AI product, a gateway, can be very, very important for them. Yeah.
That's so bullish, man. So incredible. Thank you so much for your time, dude. Your voice really echoes when you talk, man. So really appreciate your time. Would love to give you stage one last time if you have anything left to say.
Yeah. So I'll probably get to the events this week and bring some updates, because I think KBW is one of the biggest events for this year. Next is token in Singapore. But yeah, just trying to get some new information for the audience, and let's see how the market reacts for the interest rate, for all this bullish news coming in the next few weeks.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Jeff. We'll talk to you when you get back.
Thanks, buddy. Absolutely awesome as always. I hope he took that the right way, because after I said it, I was like, I hope he doesn't mean his connection isn't great. I meant it in the sense of his voice being something that a lot of people
listen to.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as I said that, I was like, oh crap, I hope we didn't take it the wrong way.
It was like a millisecond because it hit my brain the exact same way that you're talking about. But then like right after, I was like, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
So you're good.
100%. Well, that's our show for you guys today. 374 people in here today. Appreciate every single one of you guys, not to mention everyone on Kick, Rumble, and Abstract later, and Spotify later as well. Appreciate every single one of you guys, man, every single day.
Absolutely. Without you guys, we could not do this. We emphasize that every single day. So we are very, very grateful for that. But also without our partners, we couldn't do it. So if you could check out our partners, we would greatly appreciate that. Sats Terminal is the DEX aggregator swap for the entire Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to swap for Bitcoin runes or altcoins, you got to do it at satsterminal.com. Why? Because you will earn Amber Points. Amber Points are an XP point system that goes towards giving back to early adopters of the platform. They're also working on their borrowing and lending platform for Bitcoin, borrowing against your Bitcoin. And that should be more details should be released about that very, very soon. But if you want to be a part of their beta test group, reach out to Sats Terminal at Sats Terminal on X and message them and let them know you heard about them on the On-Chain Revolution show. And you want to be a part of that group. And I highly recommend that you do that if you want to get your foot into the door with the extending your network or being a part of a community there. So head over to satsterminal.com to learn more today. And then Emblem Vault is the interoperability layer of the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to jump your ordinals or Bitcoin NFTs to Ethereum, you got to use Emblem Vault to do so. Right now, you can take a loan out against your Taproot Wizards on the Gandhi application, which is the largest borrowing and lending NFT application on Ethereum. But I'm sure they're going to open that to other collections as well. And Emblem's going to open it up to other chains as well when that time comes around. So I'm sure they're going to open up to other layer 2s like Abstract Base, some Bitcoin layer 2s. I know they've talked about Merlin possibly. Solana is definitely on that list to add to Emblem Vault. And speaking of Solana, they have the best AI product on the Solana blockchain called Agent Hustle. If you go to agenthustle.ai, you can check it out. There is a free version of this AI agent, and you don't get all access to all the tools, but you can definitely prompt it and have it help you out. If you want more tools, there's other levels of subscription there. And if you use the Hustle token, you get a little bit of a discount there. So make sure you're checking all that out there. But you can use Hustle to help guide you in the Solana ecosystem for now. They're going to be adding the EVM tech stack very soon. And we already talked to them about adding Bitcoin and other environments as well. But you can ask a simple question like, find a couple opportunities for me, 2 to 5x opportunities in the Solana ecosystem. He'll bring back a couple for you and why he thinks that these are good opportunities there. Also, you can use them for conditional trading. You can say, hey, buy Fartcoin when it drops 20% and exit whenever I'm up 200%, right? So you can go take care of whatever you need to take care of. So definitely exciting stuff coming from Hustle. There's another product within the ecosystem called Migrate.Fun, and Migrate.Fun is exactly that. You migrate from a launchpad that you originally launched on, like Pumpfun or Bonk, to another launchpad or manage the LP yourself. When you launch on a launchpad, that initial liquidity before bonding curve gets locked up, right? So this allows you to kind of unlock that and kind of get a, opportunity to rejuvenate your community if it seems to be stagnant, and you can use Migrate.Fun to do so. Reach out to the Emblem team if you're interested and see if you can get on the next cohort. But yeah, super exciting stuff coming from Migrate.Fun as well. And then don't forget, the Hustle token is the centerpiece of all of their platforms there. So you can go to emblem.vision to learn about everything I just broke down about Emblem Vault and Agent Hustle. And then Artura.finance is the perps and leverage platform of the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to take leverage out of a synthetic Bitcoin fungible token, you can use Artura.finance to do so in the near future. Right now, you can trade Bitcoin or Ethereum, but you can earn points on their platform and earn points from Botanix, as Botanix is tracking all the transactions that are happening. But Artura right now has a trading competition that you can win 5,000 USDC for first place, and then 5,000 is being split amongst the next couple winners there, along with 20,000 ARA tokens, I believe is the amount. But yeah, I suggest definitely joining their Discord for more information about that. And you can also check the leaderboard there to see who's in first place. I know Shizzy was initially, but he got knocked out. But he's probably top 3 still there. So head over to Artura.finance today to learn more. And then Tokyo Wallet is the multi-chain smart wallet that is building for the best UI and UX for all their users. They support Bitcoin, Cardano, and Sui, as they've partnered with DEX aggregators in all of those 3 environments to make it possible for you guys to buy runes, buy Cardano tokens, and buy Sui tokens. They also have their own token, the Toke token, which you can stake directly in their application. But if you have an iPhone, head over to the Apple App Store. If you have a Android, head over to the Google Play Store, download the application, test it out, let us know what you think about it. We'll give the feedback to the team there. There's also a little alpha section that's on the application that is a YouTube section that you'll find our channel and other YouTubers as well. You can check us out there. And then don't forget, we are doing the BTC zone on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern and 11 p.m. UTC, 6 p.m. Central there. And you will check us out there, along with a new guest that we have tomorrow from the Cardano ecosystem. So make sure you go to our channel and check that live stream out. Should be fun tomorrow. Head over to Tokyo.io to learn more there. And then MerlinChain is uniting Bitcoin strength through the power of AI. We just had Jeff on for that, Merlin Monday there. They're doing huge things, but they are doing huge things with AI as well. And they have their Wizard 2.0 that allows you to trade cross-chain. He just talked a little bit about that. So all you have to do is have some Merlin Bitcoin in your wallet, and you can trade for Solana tokens, for VNB tokens, all types of tokens there. And you can just get information about the chains. You can say, hey, give me the top 20 wallets in that hold Fartcoin, right? And the wizard will bring that information back to you. So make sure you're taking advantage of that and using that tool there. They also have a proof of stake security system that they use for their chain. And if you want to be a part of that, there's 3 options. There's staking Bitcoin to earn more Bitcoin, which has gotten a lot of institutional attention there, and retail attention too as well. But it's on average 16% APR. It does lock up until September 30th. So you have about 15 days to earn for this first run of it, and I'm sure they're going to open another vault for that soon. But yeah, super exciting stuff to earn against your Bitcoin, right? And then also there's 2 options for the MerlinChain token. The first one is the flexible day-to-day. You earn 15% APR. You can claim those rewards every single day and then compound interest those into the vault there. It does take 7 days to withdraw on the flexible plan there, so it is a part of their protocol. Don't freak out. And then the second option for the MerlinChain token is the bonded, which is a 6-month lockup period, but you earn 45% APR, and you can claim those every single day as well and compound interest those. But head over to merlinchain.io, reach out to the team if you're interested in meeting up with them during Korean blockchain. Should be really fun and exciting stuff for that team. And keep following them on X too, because they're constantly having new updates and things happening with their team there. And lastly is our guys from Ordinal Hive, which is the fastest ordinal marketplace in the industry. If you're going to buy an ordinal, you get it right away. They are working on getting that Bitcoin right away to the seller as well. They have awesome mempool insights, which is one of their trader tools. They have many amazing dashboards as well. You can earn points that are going to go towards their give back with their Hive token as well. And make sure you're following them, as they're going to give updates on that in terms of the token updates. And they also did mint out about 2-3 weeks ago with their Ordinal B collection. So you can pick that up on secondary on Magic Eden as well. And we thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. For the 2 hours that you get to hang out with us every single day, Monday through Friday. We appreciate you guys so much.
Yep. Great job on that. As always, man, if you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out onchainrevolution.io. We have some of the best articles dating all the way back to 2023. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. Really feel like it can help them get started and caught up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have NordVPN, the #1 VPN that I use each and every single day. Just click our link there. Everyone should be using a VPN, guys. Do not be going to these sites without a VPN, because what it does is they give you your IP address. Your IP address could lead them to your house. You don't want that. I don't want that. Don't be giving away your IP. Get a VPN today. It is a 70% off coupon if you use the NordVPN link here. You'll be paying $3 a month. It doesn't seem like much for privacy at all, really. Lock it in for 2 years, set it, forget it, be done with it. At $66 later, you don't have to worry about anything. You have a VPN on your computer that is masking your IP. And that'll actually allow you to use stuff like MEXC and Hyperliquid as well. And for instance, if you're interested in merch, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto: hats, shirts, jacket, and much more. We're going to be adding some more stuff to the store as well. So let us know if you want anything added, and we can add your PFP or whatever you guys want. But check out our store today. Everything at onchainrevolution.io. And remember, guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain revolution, roll call, market recap. You not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go, Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and arching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain